Hello, and welcome everyone. Hi. I'm so excited because I missed you. Like, it's been 2 weeks of not having these trainings. We were away, we were down the islands, which was so beautiful. I'm going to be posting some photos of that and just sharing that adventure with you because it was so fun. But I'm back today and I really wanted to show up and kind of just explain like what's been happening for me this week, as well as so many people inside the Rejuvenate program, and how we can shift out of these limiting beliefs that sometimes keep us captive, hold us down, so that we can keep moving to the next level. I just got off of a call with some of my beautiful members of the Rejuvenate program, and what we were talking about today was how we move through these transitions. And sometimes they don't always look like transitions, right? They might look like an either or situation. So something happens in life, and then our conditioned self, these conditioned parts of us, decide, well, I can't do that now because this happened. We're reaching this point in our life, and what I'm going to be talking about today is this upper limit, where we need to maybe strategize, we need to shift some things around, we need to find a new pathway, find a new way. But very quickly, what the conditioned self says to us is, there is no way around this. And it very quickly will revert to shrinking, to playing small and not playing out in life to be able to reach those dreams. And so you may have already in your mind have had a dream, had a desire that you've wanted to bring to life, and maybe it was when you were a child, and then your conditioned self or this part of you has just found a way to come up with excuses or just talk you out of it. So go ahead and just pop your hands up into the comments if that has happened for you already. Because what I want to share today is that doesn't just happen like the once. That continues to happen. And as we up level and as we shift and as we move and breathe in the big circle that we talk about in the workshops, we talk about this little circle where we end up playing small, and we talk about this big circle where we can really begin to live in our authentic self. And this is where we're living and playing out our biggest dreams, our biggest desires, and really in our authentic self, the truest, most you-iest you is what we call it. And so I want you to have a think about if there is a dream that has passed, that is gone, that didn't come to realization for you, or if maybe there is still another one lurking around and you're feeling like, will it ever happen, or won't it ever happen? Or maybe you've stepped in a little bit and now you've come to this place where you're finding that there is this upper limit issue, which we're going to talk about today. So for me, my experience, and I've been going through it a little bit this week as well, is this is a transition, right? This is not a time to stop. So I was sharing with my clients that there are times in my life where my conditioned self has come up so strongly and said to me, do you know what, this is becoming too hard. I'm just not going to do it, right? And so it could be with anything. It could be with something that you're doing, extra curricular activity. It could be a business that you have. It could be family life. It could be a relationship. It could be a marriage. It could be friendships, where your conditioned self comes up and says, I can't do this anymore. I'm done, right? And so maybe you are, and maybe we get you into a position in your authentic self where you can see everything really clearly and you have an open heart, and maybe you make a decision to not do the thing anymore. Or maybe it's your conditioned self putting on these like dirty sunglasses is what we call them. And I go into more detail on the conditioned self and the authentic self in the workshops that we do in here. But maybe the conditioned self is coming up with this one way kind of way of thinking, right? The conditioned self likes to say we can do this or this, not we can do this and this. It's the authentic self that says anything is possible. I am limitless. There are so many possibilities in my life, and actually I can even realize the impossible. And so today we're just talking a little bit about this upper limit of these transitions that we can go through where we actually hit like the next level of our expansion, but it feels like we're actually like losing momentum and going downhill. So the reason why I wanted to do this today, and I want to say hi to you guys as you're coming in. I saw a couple of you pop on earlier, so just go ahead and pop something in the comments so that I can see you, and I want to welcome you. So in terms of what's happening at the moment on the planet, this is why I wanted to do this particular training today, because it was full moon. We had, it was full moon in Pisces too. So it's like, there are these two aspects coming up for a lot of us at the moment. There's this logical thinking mind that is really considering these parts of our life and what we should be doing with them. And then there is this pull for us to realize our dreams and realize our desires. And what can happen, and what has been seemingly happening over the last couple of weeks leading up to the full moon and now in full moon, and then in full moon, is that these two are colliding. And so we're feeling like torn. We're feeling a bit stuck, and we might be hitting a little bit of an upper limit that we need to move through, which is just often just a transition, right? So I want to support you in here. And as you know, I love to support you in here in taking steps toward you bringing your lifelong dreams and just desires into action so that you can live in the fullest expression of you, the happiest version of you. We want each and every one of you to fulfill your dreams, to live your life to the fullest. We are here once on this earth, in this body, as far as we know. And so we want you to really be the fullest expression of you and live out this life in your highest potential, in the most happiest, most vibrant way possible. So you often will hear me talk about this conditioned self, this authentic self, and how the conditioned self can actually run the show or drive the bus of our lives. So I will go into more detail in our next workshop for those of you who are new, because I just want to give you a big warm welcome as well if you are new in the group. But basically the conditioned self is when you're feeling fearful, when you're feeling any anxiety, when you're feeling those critical thoughts, you're hearing that inner critic quite loudly. You may be in distractions, you may be trying to get things done, but distracted by other things. Procrastination, perfectionism is a nice tool that the conditioned self uses to hold us back, to keep us playing small. So we go into all of this in detail in this group and in these different trainings. But in this training in particular, we want to remember that our everyday lives, our entire lives, are determined by our behaviors, the thoughts that we're thinking, the emotions that we allow our bodies to take on, the risks we then take, the challenges we allow ourselves to take, and the excuses we make, right? And the excuses come from the conditioned self. The conditioned self, these conditioned parts of us that may go back to childhood experiences, parts of us that have been locked down or shut down for different reasons, they are still in this really fearful state. And the conditioned self will do anything to keep us small from not having to be vulnerable or get out there and be visible, to be the fullest expression of who we are, where other people might actually see us, right? Like for who we are, and how scary that might be, right? But what's even more scary is not living our lives to the fullest, is not being the fullest expression of who we are and what we came here to be. So the conditioned self will often just try and keep us safe, right? Will just keep us captive, hold us captive. Hello, I'm so happy to see you. Yay. Sharon, how are you? Is that Tori as well? I'm not sure. Go ahead and just pop into the comments your name or give StreamYard permission. I get so excited to connect with you guys. So I want you guys to have a think of a dream that you have had in the past. It may be when you were a child that hasn't come to reality. And go ahead and pop that into the comments, because most people, this is sad. This saddens my heart. Most people will not fulfill their lifelong dreams. They will have dreams that are unfulfilled for an entire lifetime, right? And so what we want for you is for you to fulfill those dreams, those visions that you have, those desires that you have. You deserve to live a life that's just filled with happiness, that is beyond your wildest dreams. You deserve that. You are worthy of that. You were the day you were born, and you still are today. So often the conditioned self holds us captive, and the ways that it holds us captive is through fear. And often it's fear of the unknown or fear of change. So go ahead and pop into the comments one dream that hasn't been realized yet, right? So it may seem strange, but humans have this resistance to happiness. Like, we tend to put limitations on what we're able to achieve, how good we are. We compare ourselves to other people and be like, well, she can do that, but not me. And this is all just conditioned self chatter, right? The conditioned self is complex, very, very complex, and will go to extremes to hold us in, to hold us down, to keep us small so that we don't have to go out of our comfort zone. Think of our fight, flight responses in our body, right? Where we were running from tigers. We're no longer running from tigers, but these conditioned parts of us kind of feel that same fear. So it's up to us to really shift those parts of us, to heal if we need to, so that we can actually step into these limitless parts of us, because we really are limitless beings, right? And so we tend to put limits. So have a think about, like, how do you create these limitations in your mind for what you're capable of achieving? Maybe you have a dream, but it feels so far away, and you have these reasons or these excuses that the conditioned self tells you constantly that maybe you've been listening to, right? When they're really persistent like that, sometimes it's like, well, it must be true, right? So sometimes there are also underlying fears of actually realizing your dreams and achieving your potential. So, oh, hi, Kim. How are you? So happy to have you here. Kim was on a call with me earlier today, so I get to see you twice now, even though I can't see your face. I'm so happy to have you here. So sometimes there are also these underlying fears of actually realizing our dreams and achieving our full potential. And we may not realize that these fears are in place until we hit what we call an upper limit, right? So your upper limit can come in as strong, very strong reasons not to do the thing that you most want. It can come in as, comparisonitis. She can do that, but not me because of this, that, or whatever. It may also come in as deep stress and immobilization, right? These feelings of stuckness. And so maybe what we could be going through is just hitting like this upper limit where we need to transition through that to get to the next level. And so what happens is most people will then have a breakdown. And have you ever heard me say, like, after the breakdown comes the breakthrough? And so it's like, wade through the breakdown and you will have the breakthrough, but most people don't. Most people see the breakdown and then they go and make drastic decisions in their life, and usually from the conditioned parts of them, and then they step down even lower, right? So we have this little diagram that I had this morning in our Rejuvenate group, and it's kind of like we step up, we're feeling exhilarated, like we're actually going to step in and do the thing, and then something happens and we kind of get squashed. And through this squashing time can sometimes be an upper limit, like starting to break through and break open and break free. And so we want to just understand where the conditioned self is at, and that we have the power to move into our authentic self, to actually shift through this and go even higher than we have been before. So there could be deeper belief patterns stopping you from actually taking action. There could be deeper belief patterns or paradigms around things that have happened in your past, where you just block, right? You hit this limit and you're like, well, I can go to here, but I can't go to here. Like, that is I just know that I can't do that. And I'm telling you this from experience, because even myself, and over the last couple of weeks, and definitely with these lunar changes and everything that's been going on, I too have hit some upper limits in different areas of my life. And luckily, I have had beautiful coaches to be able to help to move me through it. If I didn't have them, I would kind of go in this direction. I'd be going up. I, make great expansion. I make great decisions. I do start living from my authentic self. And then instead of working through this when I have the little dip and then going up again, I would probably just go right back to where I started. And I can tell you that I lived most of my 20s that way. I'm now 40. I turned 40 last week. Wow. But I lived most of my 20s like that, where I found I was in this vicious circle. So I would step out, I would do some things, and then I'd go right back to where I was, and I'd step out and do some things. And it was exhausting. Like, I am so happy that it was like 12, 13 years ago now that I found this work, and that I've been able to really understand and then implement all of this stuff. So I'm not stuck anymore. Like, I can just keep moving forward and keep moving up all the time. So there are a few ways that you can move through these, like this stuck feelings or these upper limit issues when you hit them. And they might just feel like blocks. So it might just feel like a block, like something comes up in your life and then you have to make a decision and it just seems really big and really heavy, and then you decide to stop doing the thing that you want the most. So I encourage you, and I'm inviting you to not stop doing the thing that you want the most and to keep moving forward, because your highest potential is right there. Like, it is literally right there. And you can choose to be over here and not see it and not look. And the conditioned self can help you to hide and to stay there in that small circle, but it is literally right here. So I'm just inviting you to come there with me today. Yes. Okay, so the first thing that you can do if you find yourself kind of hitting an upper limit or getting stuck in as you're moving forward is to catch yourself when you start to worry, right? This is like the first sign, the first red flag that momentum is starting to go downward in a downward spiral. So catch yourself when you start to worry about anything at all. And there are two types of worries that we have. We have worries that are connected to issues that we actually have control over. And then we have worries connected to issues that we really don't have any control over. And so maybe the way that someone else is showing up, maybe the way that someone else is behaving, and we just cannot manipulate that. Like, we don't have control over that. But what we have control over is our state, our momentum, our vibration. And very often what happens is when we shift ours, they come along too for the ride. So if you're worried about something that you can change, then we can take some action, right? We can say, okay, well, I'm not going to worry, but I am just going to take some action on this, right? Any action doesn't really matter. Like, if it's the perfect action, don't wait for the conditioned self to find the perfect action. But if there's something we're worried about, we can start taking some action. And when we really start to look at the worries, sometimes we realize that the situations that we're worrying about are not even actually here, right? They're like in the future. They haven't even happened yet. They might not ever happen. Or maybe they're in the past. And quite often, and Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot, that sometimes, and quite often actually, many of our brains are in the past and are actually not even thinking, rerunning the situations of the past, but then they're actually recreating different versions of the past that never happened, probably won't ever happen, yet we are running these through our mind. So think about how that can hold us down, hold us captive, and how that might stop us from moving to the next level when we do hit these upper limit moments in our life. So the second thing that we can do is to really realize, so if you guys have a dream that is unfulfilled, or you have a desire that is unfulfilled, go ahead and pop that into the comments. Yes. Oh yes, I'm so excited that you're here too. Dream is to be at the top of your game, living the lifestyle. Yes. Financial freedom. Yes. Yes. showing them how to live without stress and living a healthy, active lifestyle. Amazing. So this is so beautiful, right? And so what can you think of upper limits that you maybe have hit, Sharon, in as you go to the next level, or as you are stepping out and stepping up into this? Because this is beautiful work that you're bringing to the world. This is something that the planet so needs right now. And so can you think of a moment where you've told yourself, I can't do this, or you may have hit one of these limits where it's just a transition to move through, but maybe you've stopped taking certain actions or doing certain things just due to that conditioned mind getting really, really loud? So go ahead and pop that into the comments. We would absolutely love to hear from you. What is a dream that you've had, and have you hit an upper limit, and what did it look like for you? Or maybe you're in one right now. Maybe you've hit an upper limit right now, and maybe let us know what it looks like, what it feels like. Other people love to come and read these comments and get to know and understand like what you've been through as well. It helps them learn and understand where they are at too. So the second thing that we can do to help us to move through these when we hit these upper limits is to realize that our happiness is in our own hands. And we always hear this. It's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. We always hear this, but to really realize and understand that we can shift. We have the ability to shift. And this week's module in the Rejuvenate program was called Shift It. And it's all about shifting the nervous system. So other things that you can do, your vagus nerve plays a big part in the way that you feel. We talked about the enteric nervous system in our group training today in the Rejuvenate program. Other things you can do is step outside of your comfort zone. We have a challenge in the Rejuvenate program at the moment. It's called the Be Bold Challenge. And it is there for people to start showing up at a higher level just for a few days, because this gains momentum, right? So as soon as we step out of our comfort zone, as soon as we start to really stretch ourselves again, and this is a perfect reminder to keep with yourself. Like if you're feeling stuck, or if you're feeling like you're hitting an upper limit, you may not be stretching yourself enough. Like maybe you found a little comfort zone and the conditioned self is starting to get really loud. So going and doing something that is really outside of your comfort zone, stretching yourself to do new things like this challenge that we're doing, inside the program. We do these often to keep you stretching. So just realizing, right, that there are so many ways to shift and move and really allow yourself to step more into your authentic self. And the more and more that you're there, the more the momentum builds, the more the momentum grows, opportunities strike, things happen. It's just so beautiful. Kim, you had a really beautiful example of that, because you've been stepping more and more into your authentic self over the last few weeks, and then how this beautiful new role came up for you. And you said it was so easy. It just happened so effortlessly. And that is a result of you, really showing up in your authentic self and doing this work and expanding in the ways that you are. So super duper proud of you for that too. And just savoring naturally good feelings, right? So then we get to a point where we start stepping out of our comfort zone, we start stretching ourselves, we feel better, we're more in our authentic self, we're more aligned with those feel good feelings, and then we can hold ourselves to that. So next feel good feeling, next feel good feeling, next feel good feeling. And sometimes it's just as much as like, this strawberry tastes good. Like it might not be huge to start with, but then it might be like, oh, it's a beautiful day. The sky's blue, the sun's shining. Oh, I really, love this person, or my child did something really beautiful. And just let it build and let it build and let it build until you can start to feel some of those inner critic thoughts move away. You start to feel a little bit more confident, and then you can start loving on yourself. And as you guys know, we're huge on the self-love, the body love. And this is because these are foundations for us to leap, right? And so I'm going to share a book with you in a minute. It's called The Big Leap. It's called The Big Leap. And Guy Hendricks. And he talks about, I'm going to share that with you in a minute. Oh, let me share it with you now. Why not? So he talks about these 4 zones that we operate in: incompetence, competence, excellence, and genius. And you guys can buy the book and have a read, but you we want to be operating in this zone of genius. We want to be operating at our fullest potential. And so he kind of shares with you like how to move through these different zones and why they're there and how we can make the most of where we are at. And I just love it so much. And he talks a lot about upper limits and how to move through them and why our limiting beliefs really just hold us back in life. Why they really hold us back and how they hold us back and how we can shift out of them. So another way that we can really just shift, like start to shift, realizing that our happiness is out in our own hands. So we really want to shift out of this is to breathe, right? We do a lot of meditation in here. Hello, beautiful. How are you? We do a lot of meditation in here. And so realizing and remembering that fear is actually the same mechanisms that produce excitement also produce fear, right? So realizing that fear is just excitement without the breath, right? So if we are anticipating something happening, we're feeling a little bit anxious, we're feeling fearful about something, and we begin to breathe, we could potentially change that into excitement. And when the members of our Rejuvenate group, a lot of them, like a lot of you have businesses and you like have to go live kind of like this, and these fears come up. And so we get you to breathe, right? And we get you to say, this is exciting. Like, instead of being really fearful about it, it's the same feeling, right? You get the same feeling in your belly, you get the same butterflies that happen, you get the same feelings, the constriction in your chest with excitement. And so we just want to breathe. And so if you're feeling any of these feelings, breath can be your first go-to with that. Yeah. And then the third thing that we can do to really move through these upper limits is to really strive to play in your big circle. So remembering that we have choice. We have a choice to really play and be in our big circle in our lifetime. And we have a choice to stay where we are and not move at all. And it's these continual decisions, like every single day, to make these decisions, to strive and to really know your worth. And again, this is why we do the self-love, why we do the body love, to know your worth so intimately that you know that you need to strive for this every single day and that it is worth striving for, right? Your happiness is everything in this world. You bringing your desires and dreams to fruition is everything in this world. And so realizing, this is number 4, that you are this limitless being and that actually you have so much more power than you will ever realize, and that you're really supported, right? You have your spiritual connection, you have other people around you, you have your own higher self that you can turn to at any time. We have this, so many other elements of support that you can reach out for and that you can utilize. And so realizing that you are this limitless being, you are filled with endless possibilities. Your life is full of potential, and so are you. And so remembering too that we are spiritual beings, right? Spiritual beings having a human experience. And so if that is the truth, if that is really what we are, then there are no limits. There's no limitations. All of these limits are just what we have created. They've just been placed in our life because of mindset, because of old belief patterns, because of, what's a belief? A belief is a thought that has been thought over and over and over and over again until we believe it, right? So if we can create one way that's not serving us, we have the power to create one the other way, right? Yes, you guys. Okay, so we don't want to become a victim of fear and self-sabotage. We want to keep our momentum in the other direction. So many people sabotage themselves. They don't do it on purpose. This is like a subconscious sabotaging that happens. Often we need to go a little bit deeper and do some healing around some other aspects of their life, some experiences that may have happened in the past. But quite often there is this sabotage because of a fear, either of failure or a fear of success. So I want to read you this quote by Marianne Williamson because I love it so much, and because I put it in the Rejuvenate group last week, and I did not put it in the Rise group. So I want to read this to you guys, and I will post it in the Rise group as well. So our deepest fear, this is Marianne Williamson, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Yes, Kim, I hit a wall in the last few days and stopped journaling and meditation. So you know what you have stopped doing. You know what is different. Yes, conditioned self really took over. Yeah. Conditioned selves, like, they do a doozy on us. They really do. Moving forward now, and I'm so happy to know that. So let me read this quote, because I love this quote so much because it reminds us of our power, right? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us the most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, of this universe, right? You playing small does not serve the world. It does not. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. I know many of us do that. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us. It is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Isn't that so beautiful? And I wanted to share that with you because I want you guys to remember your power as you're walking around today, and how important it is for you to show up in the fullest expression of who you are. And it is absolutely just so joyful to see you when you are shining bright, and just how then you give the world to, permission to do the same. I love that. I love that quote so much. So do you guys have any questions today? It was a powerful message that came through in this training today, that really we have, like, the onus is on us, and we have the power to be able to shift in any moment at all. And I know, Kim, you're saying you stop doing things, and we do that, like when we listen to the conditioned self, and we can go down. But like we talk about me and Uncle Frank's house, like, we can go and visit, we can go to the dark place. Like, let it be okay for us to go to the dark place. And then let it be okay for us to reignite our flame and find our power again, and keep going on our path and not have to stop. Like so many people stop when they get to that point. So you guys have the power to break through your upper limit. You have the power within you to do anything in this world. I love you so much. Should we do a little meditation? I hit a wall the past year. That's brilliant. Yes, awesome. Thank you. Okay, well, let's close down our eyes just for a moment. Take a nice deep breath, as we've been talking about breath. Palms facing up. And I want you to just have a think about some nice deep breaths as you do. Have a think about a dream, a vision, a desire that you have, that you've maybe been holding on to for a while, or maybe it is something that you would just like to achieve. And as you keep breathing, just imagining this as a scene, like, outside of you. So maybe you're watching it on a big screen, maybe you're seeing it play out like 9 meters away from where you're at. Taking some nice deep breaths, but really just allowing this vision of this dream, this desire, whatever it might be, to come forward. And you can just watch it from here. Watch it as it plays out. And so what are you doing? Where are you going? Who are you with? Taking deep breaths. And feeling your body just really sinking into the chair where you're sitting, or the ground, or the couch, wherever you are. And feel and see roots extending from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of the earth. And this is really concreting that vision. And then keep watching as this vision is playing out on maybe a screen, or maybe it is, a few meters away from you. Taking some deep breaths. And now feeling your physical energy, the energy coming up from the center of the earth into the base of your spine, and then all the way up through your body, through the crown of your head, and all the way up to the sky. And this is now pulling in the new. So anchoring to the earth, and then pulling in, drawing in the new from the crown of your head. And you might bring in your spiritual connection, or just connection to your higher self here. And having this beautiful, deep realization that the vision that you hold, the desires that you have, the desires that are on your heart are meant to come alive. Like, they would not be there if they were not meant to come alive, if they were not meant to come to fruition in this life. Take a deep breath. So really allowing your crown to open and let in the new. And then once again, just seeing this vision, whatever it might be for you, just playing out on a big screen in front of you. And maybe you see it kind of encapsulated in a bubble now and moving closer to you. And let it move even closer until it's just touching your skin. So right outside of your body, this vision is still playing out. What are you doing? Where are you going? Who are you with? How do you feel? Take a deep breath. And then it's time to step in. Right? It's time to step into that vision as though it is playing out today. So go ahead and take a step with your mind's eye into that bubble where your vision is playing out, into the screen, where it was playing out. And stepping in now. And so now you might feel the feelings in your belly of what it's actually like to live out this vision. And you can say to yourself, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this has actually happened. I've been dreaming about this for so long. And really just be in the feeling of it happening right now. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I'm actually living this out. Like, this actually happened. I've been wanting this to happen for so long, and here it is. Like, it's actually here. And just really allow yourself to be in that for a minute. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out all your air. And really just feel those feelings in your belly. I can't believe this has just happened. Like, how amazing is this that it has happened? How amazing it is that this person is showing up in this way. How amazing it is that I've been able to do this thing. This thing that maybe was once felt impossible but is no longer impossible. And now I can go to this new limit, and now this new level with no limits, because I know that it is possible. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out all your air. And really just feel how that feels in your belly. Keep breathing. And so just for today, I want you to play this out, right? So stay in the bubble, stay in this place, stay in the screen of your life, and walk through your day today as though it has already happened. There is such power in showing up as we want our future to be. Take a big deep breath in. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, open your eyes, and come back into the space with me. And so just for today, just for one day, as you're moving about your day, as you're greeting and seeing the people in your life, just really hold yourself in this vision. So keep the bubble around you, like keep yourself in this vision and keep saying to yourself, I can't believe that this has come to life, like that this is actually happening. This is amazing. And hold yourself in this new vibration. This is you creating the momentum to create your dream. I love you guys so much. I'm so happy to be back with these weekly trainings. I cannot wait to see you in the group and next week for our training as well. I love you. Have an amazing day. Bye.